The story begins with a couple, Jody and Kevin, parked outside a quiet grocery store. Their intentions are dark. They are fully prepared to rob the place. Inside, the heist goes as planned, but Jody's greed isn't satisfied. She spots a mysterious box behind the cashier and demands he open it. The cashier grows pale, warning her, "It doesn't contain what you want. Please, don't open it." Ignoring him, Jody forces the box open. A deafening gunshot rings out, and the screen fades to white. Suddenly, we are transported to a desolate, foggy forest. A terrified girl named Samantha is wandering alone, starving and shivering. She has no memory of how she arrived or what happened in her past. Stumbling upon a small wooden cabin, she finds a bag filled with food and begins to eat desperately. Suddenly, heavy, terrifying footsteps approach. In a panic, she hides under a bed. A man enters carrying a blood-stained axe. He silently grabs his bag and leaves. Heart pounding, Samantha waits before trying to flee, but she accidentally bumps right into the man. His name is Tom. To her surprise, he doesn't hurt her, he helps her. Samantha tearfully apologizes for stealing his food, explaining she has to eat in 2 days. She tells him her car broke down and her husband went for help but never returned. Coincidentally, Tom's car is also broken nearby. He has been trapped here for 3 days. Desperate to find her husband, Samantha convinces Tom to check her car. They find it, but it's empty. They leave a note and head back to the cabin. As night falls, the temperature drops dangerously. Tom gives Samantha a blanket she brought from her car. He asks why her husband would leave her alone in the middle of a forest. Samantha reveals she is pregnant, and they both assume he left to find a doctor. Before sleeping, Tom gives her water he fetched from a nearby lake. But the next morning, when he goes back for more, the lake has completely vanished, replaced by dry earth. Confused and scared, Samantha wanders outside and finds a blonde girl unconscious in the grass. It is Jody, the girl from the store heist. When Jody wakes up, she is aggressive and paranoid, accusing Samantha of being a local freak. Samantha patiently explains their situation, but Jody doesn't believe her and storms off into the woods. Meanwhile, Tom is trying to siphon fuel from his car to put into Samantha's. Suddenly, 2 gunshots echo through the trees. Terrified, Tom drops the fuel and runs back to the cabin. Jody returns, shaken. She claims she had a fight with her boyfriend and he abandoned her. Tom agrees to let her stay if she helps with the chores. The next day, Tom notices something impossible. No matter how far he walks in any direction, he always ends up back at the cabin. The forest is a physical loop. He gathers the women and asks, "Where were you actually going? What year is it?" Samantha says it's 1964. Jody laughs, claiming it's 1984. Tom goes cold. For him, the year is 2011. They realize they are from 3 different eras, trapped in the same supernatural space. While exploring the perimeter, Jody trips over a metal handle buried in the dirt. Tom uses his axe to pry it open, revealing a buried Nazi bunker from World War II. Inside, they find German military gear and canned food marked with swastikas. Samantha mentions her father fought in the war, which is why she recognizes the symbols. As they bring the food back to the cabin, they realize they have looped back to the start again. That evening, they share their pasts. Jody admits she is a thief because she grew up as a starving orphan. She shows Samantha the money she stole. Samantha is confused because the bills are stamped 1984 to her. This is the future. Tom finally believes them when he sees the dates. Suddenly, a mysterious German soldier named Hans appears, brandishing a rifle. He speaks only German, which only Samantha understands. He forces them into the bunker and ties them up. Inside the bunker, the truth begins to unravel. Samantha sees a locket around Hans' neck. It contains a photo of her mother. Jody sees it and realizes that woman is her grandmother. The horrifying realization hits. Hans is Samantha's father. Samantha is Jody's mother. And Jody is Tom's mother. They are 3 generations of the same bloodline. Hans was a Nazi soldier who was supposed to die in a 1944 air raid in Poland, very day they are currently living through. Tom realizes they have been brought here to fix a broken history. In the original timeline, Hans dies today. Because he dies, Samantha's husband is forced to go to war, leaving Samantha to die alone during Jody's birth in 1964. Because Samantha dies, Jody grows up an orphan, becomes a criminal, and is eventually executed, leaving Tom to grow up in misery. Tom tells Jody the truth. "In my time, you were a murderer who was hanged." Jody is devastated. They decide they must save Hans from the upcoming air raid. If Hans lives, he will be there in 1964 to get Samantha to a hospital, saving her life and changing everyone's future. However, Hans doesn't understand them and thinks they are spies. He tries to flee the cabin to rejoin his unit. In the chaos, Hans accidentally shoots Jody. As Jody Tom's mother begins to bleed out, Tom's body starts to flicker. Because his mother is dying before he is even conceived, he is being erased from existence. Tom vanishes into nothingness, sacrificing himself. Samantha screams for her father. Just as the Russian planes appear overhead, Samantha manages to drag Hans into the safety of the bunker. The bombs fall, leveling the forest. The screen fades to white as the timeline resets. We return to the grocery store. Everything is different. Jody walks in, but she is elegant, wealthy, and educated. She isn't there to rob the place. She sees Kevin, her old boyfriend, but she doesn't know him, she simply walks past. In 1964, we see a living Samantha, gray-haired and happy, paying tribute to her father Hans, who lived a long life. The cycle of tragedy is broken. However, the film ends with a dark twist. Kevin's new girlfriend spots the same mysterious box behind the counter. She ignores the cashier's warning and opens it. A gunshot rings out, suggesting that while this family was saved, the trap of human greed is a loop that never truly ends.